Hey, everybody.
Good morning, football fans. We are live. I am once again the super genius Wiley, coming to you from 1998 Championship Drive here in Knoxville, Tennessee, with my erstwhile partner, young Brandon. Brandon, say hello to the fine folks listening or watching.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Things aren't looking too great in ball land. But before we get to all that, we got a new name for our show. New name, same two idiots. And here we go. Ta-da!
Ta-da! The Very Orange live stream presents the Rocky Top Report, brought to you by the Field of Streams Podcasting Network. This name was suggested to us, and we decided that we liked it. So, it works. It works.
I like it very much.
As Brandon, you said, things are not going so well in Vol land. We make a trip down to the plains this weekend. Hopefully, we'll be able to set the ship somewhat right. The last time we went down to the plains, we were in not a dissimilar situation. We were at that time, there was not nearly as much hype going into the season 2 years ago as there was this year. But we went into the plains as heavy underdogs and managed to go down there and whoop some Tiger ass.
This is true.
Come out with a win where the score did not actually accurately reflect the domination that Tennessee had that entire game. It got really close in garbage time.
So let me drop a little hip-hop wisdom, if I may.
Preach, brother.
As the kids say. There's a song out. I think it's kind of new. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Well, Rocky Top, Knoxville, our vibe has been fucking dead for about a month now.
There's our ones, PG-13.
Well, shit's gonna get said today.
Preach, brother, preach.
Amen. Oh, we just got to get out there and win. I'm sick of this.
Well, we got to figure out what to do about our secondary. Sean Schamberger is no longer officially part of the team. He is, quote unquote, working on academic issues.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Whatever that means. I mean, apparently he was like one of the multitude of students at my high school who think remote learning means they can sit on their ass and do nothing and still pass.
Yep.
Not to pontificate or editorialize on something like that, but anyway.
So we're just here to talk football.
Exactly.
We're just here to talk football, ladies and gentlemen. Don't add us. Or do. Huh? I'm up for a good discussion. So we got shellacked by Arkansas. Get in the Wayback Machine for a second. Made them look like some kind of SEC giant.
Well, at least in the third quarter we did, yeah. And we had talked about this off air a couple weeks ago. It was like Derek Dooley never left.
Yep.
The third quarter from hell. Strike again. I mean, everything I said about Philly hot dogs, you give him time back there in that pocket, you let him run around, and he is going to destroy you. And that is exactly what happened.
Philly hot dogs struck.
I mean,
to his credit, he's good. He ain't that good.
Well, at least he's good against Tennessee.
Yeah.
He's at least good against Tennessee. I'll grant him that. I'm not exactly sure, how well he's going to perform against the rest of the SEC. They've got a big one this weekend with the Fighting Ogerons coming into Fayetteville. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but we'll see what happens with that game.
So then we were slated to have Texas A&M, and COVID struck. Unfortunately, struck that team. Fortunate for us, in my opinion, because I think we would have had asses handed to us left and right on the field out there.
Honestly, I mean, I was perfectly fine with playing a depleted Texas A&M team. I personally didn't see a problem there, but okay.
Worst things have happened.
I'm joking. Okay, I don't want to hear people bitching at me because he thought a team was my coach to play football. Come on, seriously, I'm a teacher, for God's sake.
I know.
Back to football.
Can't laugh at COVID-19. What can you laugh at? Damn it,
man! I mean, if you can't laugh about life and yourself, what's the friggin' point?
Yeah, this is true. This is just blah 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 blah. So we got out of that game, which I guess will be played at a later date. I don't know. And now we come to Auburn. But before we get to discussing Auburn, what do we think about Mr.
Oh, crap. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Yes, sir.
What Dren doesn't know is we've replaced his Big Orange coffee with Crimson coffee. Give you a little privacy, buddy.
All right. Sorry. That was my pimp calling asking me where the hell his money is. I did not have a good night on the corner of
I believe you've underperformed this quarter, sir.
Yeah, I did not have a good night in Old C.
So here's where we're at.
What it used to be.
Here's where we're at. Mr. Pruitt's job.
Okay, here's my problem. Hot seat, not hot seat. The thing that we have failed to understand, and I mean, we pull plugs way too early on coaches these days. I mean, it's just, and we still 12 years later, if I got that right, have not recovered.
Oh no,
from firing Fulmer, which was a completely stupid Mike Hamilton burn in hell move. He was not done. He had a down year. He was still recruiting, and we jumped on the hottest new thing, hottest free agent in football, and managed to go from the outhouse to the sewer in the span of about 13 months.
Did we ever?
I mean, so
we were amongst the turds for sure.
Guys, you got to understand. You got to understand that this is, we cannot just get rid of Pruitt and plug another coach in there and expect things to be fine. I mean, he's doing what he can. I honestly think.
Well, this is the first year we've had
the problem. I don't think the problem is Pruitt. Honestly, don't think the problem is Pruitt.
I do and don't think the problem is Pruitt. I think we're an awful lot like Georgia in the fact that we've got a defensive guy out there who's had his ass licked by a bunch of people telling him how great he is, and he thinks he can coach the defense. Well,
or coach the offense.
Or coach the offense. I'm sorry.
He can't coach the defense. He's proven that, actually.
Yeah.
Defense actually looked SEC championship quality in the fourth quarter against Arkansas.
For
the fourth quarter. Anyway.
We need some mighty fine coaches. And you can't do it all, Jeremy Pruitt. You can't do it all. And if it comes down to his job, which, as I was going to say, this is the first year we've had all of our scholarship players.
Yep.
Because of being screwed over. So I can't hardly say, get rid of this guy.
But this is the first year we've had all our scholarship players in a global pandemic.
This is year 5, brother. You got to be doing better than this.
I know. I mean, I agree. But 4 years before that, he didn't have a global pandemic. He was having to deal with.
I know.
Guys being out.
It's hard to judge any football program amongst this mess this year.
This is what I would not be surprised by. That after the A&M game on the 12th, after South Carolina, God help us, has hired Hugh Freeze. Oh, God. Hugh, buy a burner, please. Buy a burner this time. And he has hired Jim Chaney as his offensive coordinator. And I like Jim Chaney. I really do. I do not understand really what the mindset is, what's going on there. I really think if anybody is going to be gone at the end of this year, it's going to be Chaney. I think he's going to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking along those lines.
I honestly think.
And I'm fine with getting some new, fresh ideas. In an offensive coordinator that is willing to take some chances and come up with something new. Well, nothing wrong with that at all.
I don't think they go outside to pick an offensive coordinator. If I was going to pick an offensive coordinator, I'd go inside the staff. And I'm going to tell you something. Jay Graham is the guy.
Yeah.
Jay Graham is the best position we have. I love you, T. I love you, T. You ain't there. I don't. There's the jury's still out. But Jay Graham has proven that he can do his job.
Yeah.
And I think you let him stay the offense. You let him stay the running backs coach, but at least make him co-offensive coordinator or running game coordinator, something like that, because that's obviously a strength of this offense.
This brings me around to this quarterback situation, which you've got Peyton Manning. Now, do I think they're going to hire him? Or probably not anytime soon.
No.
He's not worried about that. Would he come in, maybe have this and that, and get some of our quarterbacks ready to play? Maybe. Better than this bullshit of just putting all your chips on JG, who, let's see, has 956 yards, is 71st in college football, 6 touchdowns. Come on, man.
Well, in his defense, it wasn't like they were calling a lot of passes against Arkansas. I mean, we were road grading in the first half of that game, and we weren't.
Would you like to guess Mr. Garantano's QBR?
I'd say it's probably in the 70s.
Nope.
What?
It is 59.0.
God, I bet the Vanderbilt quarterback's QBR is probably higher than that.
Do you know who is higher? Mr. Nix, that plays for Auburn.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's why they're a 10.5-point favorite.
I think they were at least that much the last time we went to Auburn, and we ended up
something like that.
Yeah.
Which I could While I'm bannering how we were talking about
JG versus Bo Nix. Bo ain't taking the beating that JG has historically. I mean,
Bo Nix is a less than stellar quarterback, and that's me being an angel.
He's really enigmatic. I mean, he has.
Yeah,
he's very hot and cold. I mean, he'll have a game like he had against LSU, and then A&M will come in and own them. Or honestly, Alabama. I hate to say it, I think Alabama's probably going to have their way with them this year.
Yeah.
As much as I hate saying that, but I mean, he's been more consistent this year. He's got to prove that he can do it the whole way through, because this is it, man.
I mean, the point is, though, our quarterback makes him look like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. It's just an ugly ass fact.
The irony, and I'm gonna point this out, and I'm gonna be honest. I just actually thought of this. RJG brings back memories of another JG who actually played well in college and went into the pro leagues with a hell of a lot of hype. Went in the NFL with a hell of a lot of hype and a cannon for an arm, but zero personality. And do you know who I'm talking about? Played for Illinois, played for the Raiders for a while. His name is Jeff George. And I mean,
the reason why I stopped liking the Falcons.
I think I mean, Garantano is not Jeff George. He doesn't have Jeff George's arm.
Oh no, yeah,
nowhere near.
He's Jeff George without like any of the talent.
He's got some leadership skills, but like Jeff George, he's so screwed up in the psychology department that I mean, it may be irrevocable. I find it ironic that Garantano's actually, got a degree in psychology, but the problem is, you're not.
What kind of idiot ass gets a degree in psychology?
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, but it just figure out. I hope he's not spending a lot of time trying to figure out his own shit. That's
this one. BT.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Bo Nix's QBR 73.5.
Well, yeah. They do have a little bit more of a balanced offense.
So. They're completely run dependent.
Yeah.
If you want to call that balanced, you can go ahead.
They're more balanced.
Yeah.
More balanced. Qualify that with a more in there.
More. Yeah. Should we get to some picks, sir?
Yes, let's get to some picks.
You had mentioned the Ohio State game. I don't believe that's going to be on here. What do you think about Ohio State?
The Hoosiers are walking into Columbus as a 20.5-point road dog. Folks, I'm telling you right now, bet the mortgage payment on Indiana to cover that 20.5. Do I think Indiana's going to win? Probably not, but I guarantee you.
It's going to be close, like an 8-point game.
8-point game.
Yeah.
This is your Heisman showcase. Michael Penix Jr., you're probably not listening, but I like to fantasize that you are. Son, this is it. You need
go for it, baby. Ball out.
This is your chance to become the Heisman frontrunner. I find it kind of amazing that his name has not been brought up at this point.
It is kind of.
Yeah, I think it's pretty insulting.
Although, like our Georgia friends, I too am not a huge Ohio State fan. I would love it. I would love it if Indiana beat them.
Yeah, this is the showcase of probably the two, I'm gonna say it, best quarterbacks in the non-SEC quarterbacks in the country right now. I think this is it.
I've got a good question.
I really think this is it's gonna be a good game, the close game. The over's like 66 points. It's like they're expecting it's a crap ton of points in this game, that's probably a pretty good number.
Well, and that's what scares me personally about Vandy. The amount of points that they put up the other day.
Yep.
If they do that to us, there's another L in the column.
But here's the other thing, Brandon, and we talked about this. Kentucky really was emotionally drained when walking.
Yeah.
So the fact that game was close was not surprising. There were a lot more points scored than I thought there would be, but still. So Vandy, Florida walks into Vanderbilt Stadium, 31 and a half point favorites. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's a take for me. I'm gonna take that one.
I'm gonna take the points on that. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the points on that. LSU goes in the Fayetteville line. The line I saw was 2.5. Line we're showing is 1.5. Suey Pig, get them. That's a buy for me. That's a buy for me. LSU
is so depleted. It's not even.
Yeah, I've done a complete 180 on Coach O. I love me some Coach O, but they're not ready for that job. Ole Miss and A&M still depleted. They're not playing. Kentucky and Bama 30. The Wildcats walk in as a 32-point underdog. I mean, Kentucky's defense is good. Are they good enough to keep
32?
Bama's averaging 47 points a game.
Yeah.
Are they good enough to put up 15?
If they can keep after that Bama quarterback and keep enough pressure on him, they won't score that many points on him. I think I'd take the points.
I'm a hesitant Kentucky taker on that one to cover. Bama's going to win. I have no. Bama's going to hang 50 on him, but I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised to see.
I'm not delusional.
Or something like that. Well, not 28, but I mean, they're going to cover. They're going to cover 30 points. I mean, I just 31 points.
Who we got?
Let's see. Missouri's going into Columbia, 6.5 point favorite.
I take Missouri and the point, and I think they'll.
Yeah.
You don't have a coach. Yeah.
That one's a tough.
I'm gonna call it 2 touchdowns. They'll win by at least.
That one's a tough one for me. It just depends on who shows up. They got my Bobo running the show now. So we'll see. Keeping that seat warm for Hugh Freeze and the Liberty Brothel. He's going to probably bring with him. We got some Bulldog violence going on down in Athens this weekend. Georgia's a 25-point home favorite on Mississippi State. I don't think that's enough points. Georgia is going to be pissed. They are mad, and they should be. They got embarrassed down in Jacksonville. I would double up on the cup this week because y'all gonna get kicked hard.
Yeah, they're gonna be out for blood. They're gonna be out for blood. It's gonna be a Michael Vick special.
Yes, and honestly, the irony of
dying left and right.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the largest major spread this week, ironically, was Clemson going to Tallahassee as 33-point dogs, but unfortunately, COVID kicked that ass. They canceled the game this morning after a Clemson player.
Sometimes COVID wins.
It had symptoms all week, and he kept testing negative, but finally popped a positive test like last night. And so they decided to cancel the game.
Hey, you, get over here. Take this COVID test. You've been coughing a lot. Take it for me.
Exactly.
Oh, we can't play.
Yep.
As
if Clemson really had anything to worry about, I mean,
is Notre Dame
Trevor's back? I don't know if Notre Dame is idle this week or not. I had not scheduled. Honestly, I didn't look that hard.
Yeah. Well, I don't typically worry about Notre Dame, just because they're overrated every year.
As we used to say in the 90s, and I actually said on camera at the 90 UT Notre Dame game, duck Notre Fame.
There you go. Finally, before we get a little further along, and we're about to wrap up here, what do you think about the Harbaugh situation?
I will be honest with you. When Jim Harbaugh retired from football and got into coaching, he started his coaching career at the University of San Diego, and he got them to their first winning record in decades. When Buddy Tevens, I think it was Buddy Tevens, got fired at Stanford, everybody's like, "Who's going to get Stanford job?" I said, "It's going to be Jim." I said, "It's going to be Jim Harbaugh."
Yeah,
Jim Harbaugh. And they're like, "Jim Harbaugh, what's he been doing?" He hasn't coached. I said, "He's been at the University of San Diego for a year, and he's turned that He actually managed to turn that program around, help them win. And not 2 weeks later, guess who Stanford hired? They hired Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And he did pretty well at Stanford. He definitely ruffled some feathers in the Pac-12, or I think it was still the Pac-10 at the time. And he ended up going to the Niners.
Richard Sherman's feathers were certainly
yeah, and ended up doing pretty well. Is probably the only person who ever has fully understood the talent that is Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
I think he belongs back in the NFL.
I do too. That's a different discussion. But let me tell you something. Here's a stat about Colin Kaepernick that a lot of people don't know. In Nevada, he played for the University of Nevada. He had a starting running back that played behind him, a guy named Vitawa. They still hold the record for combined rushing yards between quarterback and running back. I mean, and that's a huge statistic.
Yeah,
it's a huge. I don't know what the exact number is, but that's a pretty telling stat. Well, anyway, he stayed. He stayed in. He did well at San Francisco, but I think he just got tired of putting up with player egos. In the side when the Michigan job came up, it was a no-brainer. That he was going to go to Michigan. I don't know.
I think he's been here too long. I think they've given him plenty of time, and he just.
I mean, has he been
about this level? Him coaching Michigan has just not worked out, and it's time to cut the strings.
Yeah, is he?
Ways.
Well, has he been Brady Hoke, Rich Rodriguez bad? No, but yeah, he still hasn't beaten Ohio State.
Yeah,
it's clear that the more well-rounded, I won't say he's a bad coach. He's definitely, a controversial figure. I mean, he's Jerry Glanville without the sense of humor.
Yeah.
But it's clear that the more well-rounded coaching genes went to his brother and his dad. Jack Harbaugh was a hell of a football coach.
Yeah, his dad.
I mean, really, Western Kentucky is not where they are right now, if not for Jack Harbaugh. Yeah. I mean, he definitely laid the groundwork for them to go to leave FBS and go or leave FCS.
Yeah,
and go full Division I. So I mean, yeah. So it's I don't know. Maybe he goes back to the NFL, or maybe he goes to broadcasting. I think he'd be a good broadcaster, but he's just
maybe.
Yeah, he needs to walk away.
If he'd get a little better
before he loses all his dignity. Honestly.
Yeah, because he's about lost it this season. He's losing everybody.
My favorite small part movie character of all time, Archer Lincoln once said, walk off the field before you get carried off, or something to that effect.
Absolutely.
Yes. And by the way, if anybody knows what movie Archer Lincoln is from without having to look it up, good on you.
Well, let me get to one of
the product of the Weird VOLS product of the week.
The Weird VOLS product of the week. Weird item of the week. Here we go. This one's something else. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Probably, yeah. Well, that's probably a pretty damn good guess that I haven't seen it. I don't troll looking for strange merch. Ooh.
Now, I don't dislike it knowing what it is.
Yes.
But if you weren't a Tennessee fan, it looks like a thing of wadded up chewing gum with a Tennessee tab on it. But I thought it was very appropriate, being the holiday season. This is a little Christmas ornament of The Rock. And I just...
By the way, that is not an iceberg, folks. That is something that is on UT campus called The Rock.
It's not splooge.
Not splooge.
As the kids would maybe say. If you had some weird kids.
Oh, God. Oh, we're going to hell for that one. But
hey, we're already there, baby. We're Tennessee fans.
If you wanted to call it an iceberg, then please God, let Auburn be the Titanic.
Yes.
Yeah. But I like that.
I liked it. I think it should have some writing or something on it. White.
The orange mother buys the orange munchkins Christmas ornaments every year.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get something like that. I do have a fair amount of Tennessee ornaments.
I've got a few. My favorite one is of the stadium.
I've got one of the round bauble ornaments, and then I've got a football player, and I've got a few of the things. I don't go crazy. The Christmas trees for the kids anyway. So it's let them as long as they don't burn the house down, let them decorate it as they want it. That's the way I look at it.
That's a good way to look at it.
All right, 33 and a half minutes into this thing. Brandon, anything else we hadn't covered that we need to?
Yeah, just one more thing. Before we say goodbye, we missed out on Veterans Day. And from the very orange live stream to all the vets out there, I want to say thank you. I'd be remiss if we didn't do that. I would be very honored if we had vets watching.
As would I, for someone who's actually born on Veterans Day.
Yes,
I share I share the very same birthday as Leonardo DiCaprio. By the way, I don't know.
I don't have a bunch of memes where you make an ugly face.
Exactly, so it's. Veterans Day is very important to me. My father was an officer in Vietnam. His father was served in India during World War II in the Army Air Corps. It's not, and by the way, you couldn't say Air Force to him. By God, it's Army Air Corps.
I heard you tell that before.
My maternal grandfather served as a staff sergeant in England during the war. He ran a motor pool. And my great uncle was a pilot in the Navy. So it is, I unfortunately was never given that, offered the opportunity or the honor to serve. Couldn't pass the physical.
Yeah.
But so
Well, I've got families currently, family members currently in the service. My father was in Vietnam as well. So it's always meant something to me. It will always mean something to me.
Yes.
And I'm sure I can speak for you, Mr. Wiley. So I just want to say thanks, vets.
Thank you for your service. Morning all.
Big Orange Country, Very Orange live stream, and we are out of here.
Have a happy Turkey Day. We'll catch y'all's asses on the flip side.
Peace. Happy Thanksgiving.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.